some years ago, I was in New Zealand and I got there 2 days after the earthquake. And it was very interesting talking to people, the range of ways in which they tried to cope with it. Some people saying bravely that even though the wind and the sea rage, I won't be moved, quoting one of the Psalms. Other people saying, well, it's their karma and hard luck on them, but don't help even the survivors because you're making it more difficult for them in the life to come. And other people say, well, there you go. Isn't it evident that there is no God at all? Suffering and pain are the hardest things, I think, that certainly I find to deal with. And I find it helpful, though, to observe that there are two perceptional standpoints on pain and suffering. There's the person who's suffering, their perception of it. And there's a person that watches that suffering. It's very different. A cancer doctor sees the young woman's cancer very differently from the way in which she sees it. So there's the participant and there's the observer, and we need to separate them. And then, of course, there are at least two potential sources of it. There's the suffering that people do to one another.
Yes.
And then there's the earthquakes, tsunamis, cancers, all that kind of thing. And we need to tease them apart. But it interests me that those that go down the atheist route, they claim to have solved the problem in saying that there is no God. But if you notice what's happening here, they may have satisfied themselves that they solved the problem. They've removed the problem, but simultaneously, as I pointed out to a number of people in New Zealand, amongst other places, that they've removed all hope by definition. And therefore, there's an unsatisfactory thing there because human nature cries out in all of this for justice. And I want to ask the question where it comes from. You see, if there is no God, why should we bother about suffering? It's just like the world is. And Dawkins almost takes that position, you know.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
It's a very heartless position in the end.
It's utterly heartless.
Because it means, apart from anything else, there's no explanation for it. It's just random. It's just accidental. Well, why does it hurt so much? The other problem with it is, it seems to me, we at least, if we believe, and I certainly do, and you do, have the knowledge that it wasn't meant to be.
No.
And that one day the wounds will be bound up. There's a hope.
Oh, I think that's absolutely true. But in between, I think there's something we can say. And that is, as I have put it to many people, that at the heart of Christianity, whether you accept it or not, perhaps you should just listen to what it claims before you throw it out, is a God who suffered.
Yes.
And the central claim of Christianity is that the one on the cross was God. And you can ask then, what is God doing on a cross? Well, at the very least, I want to argue, at the very least, he's not remaining distant from human suffering, but is becoming part of it. And there I see the window, because the cross, the claim is followed by the resurrection. And that's what gives me hope, that beyond the suffering, there is resurrection. Mm-hmm. So I can bring hope to the young woman who's been given 3 months to live because of cancer. I can't take the cancer away or the suffering, but I can bring hope. And that's where the difference is, that Christ offers us something. I often say he doesn't compete with any other religion at all, because none of the others offer us this, a forgiveness and a hope for the future that doesn't depend on our own attempts to keep a given set of laws, but rather depend on what he's done, because we can't keep those laws.
Amen. One of the things that I think I've taken a long time to appreciate, it goes to the heart of this, that you've mentioned this, that God experiences suffering. He's not distant from it. But it's the extent of that suffering.
Yes.
It eclipses anything we've known. If you stop and think about it, utterly rejected, totally alone, when he's been falsely accused, and we all know how cutting it is to be falsely accused, subjected to an absolute sham of a legal process, knowing mental and spiritual agony and physical pain that is beyond our comprehension, crucifixion having been flogged within an inch of your life. So he knew he's not distant from suffering. It's taken me a long time to see, I think, in my life, my walk, or to even begin to try and comprehend how real his willingness to take that suffering on was. We can't say he doesn't understand.
No, we can't say he doesn't understand. And often in my experience pastorally, talking to people, when you get to that point, there's a dawning of awareness that this could mean something to me and could lift my burden. And that's the amazing thing. And once you come to the fact that God raised him from the dead, and that actually tells you that that suffering was way beyond mere human suffering. It did something that enables God to receive me and forgive me. That's big stuff when people begin to see it. And that's often when conversion begins, in my experience. So the hardest problem often becomes the gateway into a lifelong solution where people find the bedrock on which they can build their lives and not be afraid.